Today we are going to share and talk together about something that has absolutely revolutionized my experience, and that is releasing resistance in your field. When you allow yourself to release resistance in your field, you are communicating to your cells, you are communicating to your mind, you are communicating to your emotions that you can live in your reality through a non-resistant space of harmony, of flow, of enjoyment. And so when you allow yourself to move in your quantum now reality without holding on to tight resistance in your field, you open up a potential within your reality that is communicating to the world around you that you don't have to move in stress, that you don't have to move in fear, that you can move in such a way that feels the presence of your own energy and your own love for yourself. So wherever you are in your life, if you are at a job, okay, if you are going to work, or whether you are an entrepreneur that is running your own business, however you are showing up in your day is communicating to the reality how to communicate to you. And so when you are moving from a space of non-resistance, then you are moving in the reality in such a way that is saying, I choose to not move in fear. Because non-resistance is communicating to the quantum field which surrounds your orbit and surrounds your vessel. When you release resistance, you give the field the opportunity to receive the fullness of who you are outside of stress and outside of tension. And when you allow yourself to unfold in this way, you are honoring your inner being. You are honoring your vessel. You are deepening in your devotion. And this is a beautiful experience because you are letting the quantum field know that your desires and your soul destiny can manifest without fear, without scarcity, and with feeling safe and whole in your body, in your being. Because when you are moving in non-resistance, your body can feel it. Your body feels that you are moving without stress. You are moving without tension. And so your reality begins to flower and to open in your experience because you are communicating in a new language. You are communicating in a way that doesn't need to hold your breath, doesn't need to stop at a wall just because a challenge might arise. you begin releasing resistance from the inside, and what you're going to find is you travel like the water is flowing through a river. You allow your being to move like water and to flow freely through your channel. And so as you are allowing this energy within you to grow, to bloom within you, you begin to open the field of resonance that you came here to truly bloom into, without having to constrict or restrict your power. And this doesn't mean that ordeals won't come to initiate you, but it means that you will create a surrounding space within your field that is not holding on to the reality, is not grasping onto the reality. And so when you're allowing your energies to move freely through your body, through your vessel, through your energetic system, then you're immediately moving in deeper harmony with yourself. And one way I love to deepen with my students through transformations and mentorships is to be aware of those energies that stop you most often, because being able to release resistance around the energies that you feel impede your flow the most, those are the frequencies and energies which have been hindering your forward momentum upon your path. So what is that for you? What arises when I bring this up? Is it hard for you to complete a project? Is it difficult for you to say something important when the moment calls for it? Whatever that energy is for you, which creates the most resistance in your field, when you move towards it with an openness, with a willingness to understand, and without holding on to resistance, you open up your field, you open up your potential. Because a tight and restricted field, it clamps down on your energy and it contracts the field, making it smaller instead of opening up your field. So as you allow yourself to move in your moment-to-moment unfolding, you are tuning in to where is it that resistance arises within you in your day. And then you begin to notice it, and you begin to start releasing that valve within you, the inner valve, releasing it energetically, emotionally, or mentally from your field. And this is why I love daily rituals so much, like meditation and yoga, because meditation and yoga allow you to create a space and to start your day off in the energy of non-resistance. So when you first start to sit in meditation, it might be difficult for you. But as you continue to sit, as you continue to practice, it becomes easier to rest in emptiness and easier to rest in your inner silence. And the same goes for practicing yoga. When you get on your mat for the first time, it might be difficult, but the more you show up for yourself and you anchor in your consistent practice, the more that your flow naturally comes to you and the less you move in resistance. And so as you move on your path, you can allow yourself to slow down, as in, it doesn't mean you can't finish what you desire to do for your day. It means that you inwardly can slow down so that you can pay attention to when resistance is arising, and to allow yourself to drop those resistances through your field in the way that works best for you. There's certain energies that require more attention, and there's some, as you continue growing in your powers of discernment, that will be very easy for you to drop upon your path. So as you stabilize in your chosen rituals, whatever those are for you, it could be running, it could be dancing, it could be yoga, it could be meditation. Whatever it is you choose to do is what is sacred for your path, what is your daily devotion. It strengthens your inner being. It allows you to become supernatural when it comes to discerning energies, discerning frequencies, and aligning with your spirit. This is why your daily rituals are so important, because they allow you to deeply rest, to rest within your being, to anchor within your spirit, and really to evoke your inner essence of being. And often, because there's so much information in this world, your daily devotion and your daily practices are what root you into your being. Okay, you want to be rooted in your being, not in another's being. And although we are all connected, at the end of the day, you are the one who lives your path according to you, and no one else can do that. This is when unity consciousness also needs some separation consciousness, because you are the only one that's living your path. I can't go and sit for you or practice yoga for you or do these rituals for you. You must choose to do them and to devote yourself and your life to them, seeing the direct fruits of what they give you upon your path. And the more you honor them, the more your life blooms, the less you stay devoted to lesser things upon your path. And what you will notice is you will naturally move in more harmony each day. You will move in more depth of being. You will be connected to your true soul destiny mission upon the planet. It is inevitable for someone who is inside of their practices in sadhana and presence of being to be in direct contact with your destiny. And this is so important when you are moving each day, when you feel connected to your incarnation and why you chose to be here on the planet. So when you have a resistance that may arise for you and you notice you continue moving through it more swiftly, and then maybe you will see that days and maybe weeks, months, it can turn into years. everyone is different upon their path, that resistance continues to vanish, to vanish, to vanish. And so you can trust moving in non-resistant energy, and you can trust moving in depth of flow within your reality, while your reality is blooming around you, while your reality is growing in fulfillment of your soul's mission upon the planet. So I remember for quite a long time, I had to push extremely, extremely hard upon my path. And it happened for years on end, where I had to push through so much alchemy and so much inner work. And this is also a part of the path. And it's important to never judge yourself based on where you are on your path, because the path of your soul's destiny is profound, it is wild, and it is a path that is not the path least traveled. It's the path that has never been traveled before. And so it's important to honor that, and it's important to recognize that when you're giving birth to yourself, there are periods of pushing where nothing in the reality feels like it could be no resistance. I have experienced this, but those times are also extremely, extremely valuable. But what I want to inject into even those times, maybe you're experiencing a time like that right now. Perhaps you are. Okay, if you're experiencing a time like that where you have to truly push in the reality, and that is the signal that you are receiving as a divine message to push as hard as you can, okay? That is not a time to pull back, actually, okay? When a tiger is going after its prey and it wants to eat lunch and feed its family, okay, that tiger is not going into a non-resistant energy to do it. That tiger is going after its prey, and it's going to get that animal, it's going to catch it, and it's going to bring it back to its family, okay? So you have to know when to use what energy upon your path. This is vital for mastering different frequencies, mastering different energies. And you have to know when to use them. If you are in that part of your path, then pushing through the obstacles may be absolutely necessary and valid. But there's a certain point as well where you cross that threshold into stability within your life. And when you enter stability within your life, a stable environment that you've created for yourself, that is when you can begin to release the resistance and directly see how life begins opening and blooming for you. Recently, very recently, this month for myself, I have witnessed miracle upon miracle, upon miracle, upon miracle in my experience because of releasing resistance, because of allowing the beauty of the unfolding and choosing to not hold on to any tension within my field whatsoever. And what has happened during this time is that flowering upon flowering, literally receiving gift after gift after gift, after a very long period and series where everything was extremely difficult. I had to fight hard for stability, And so I don't recommend for someone who is at the period before becoming stable in your reality to just let it all go in a way. No, you continue to move, you continue to fight until you gain stable ground. But once you gain stable ground, that is when you can enjoy releasing, okay? And this is an inner subtlety that you will be working on. And the more inner subtlety you cultivate, the more vast and expansive the reality will open for you. So I highly invite you to create a space for yourself where you live that you practice. Okay, and I recommend choosing one practice that you devote yourself to before adding anything else to what it is you feel you are drawn to. Just choose one practice you can devote yourself to. And if that grows into adding something else, that's wonderful. But start with one practice. And I recommend the first thing to start with is to meditate, because meditation allows you to simply connect with your stillness. It calms everything down. It allows you to rest and get used to resting in stillness, to not moving chaotically within your experience, to move intentionally, to move in presence with yourself, with the reality. So I recommend this for my students that work with me in my bold era. I recommend students that are taking Master Manifestation Magic to do the same. And I invite you to do the same and watch how you begin to release resistance, or if you're in a period where you're fighting and forging forward like a warrior, don't let off the gas. Keep going hard until you break past that barrier and start seeing when to use non-resistance in your reality, when you can release the valve, and when you need to forge forward and use your warrior energy. Never be afraid to fight for the reality that you desire, and never be afraid to experiment with what works, finding out when does non-resistance work in your reality, and then when does pushing hard, committing to the goal and getting it, what do both of those dynamics do for you? And this sort of experimentation is important for your path of mastery. And I encourage you to experiment and to find out for yourself. So I thank you for tuning in, and I will see you soon.
Tibetan plateau, vast and wild, echoes of the past like a child, cultural richness in the air, harmony of tradition rare, highland melody echoes afar, drums beating like a star, Tibetan souls singing clear, mountains listen, draw near.